Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ella. If you're not, welcome back and welcome to a brand new video. So you guys already know by the title, this is probably why you clicked on the video, but today I'm going to be giving you some high school advice. You know, geared toward freshmen, but really anyone in high school. Freshmen would probably be looking for videos like this. Just because, like, I don't know, freshman is kind of scary. You don't know what to expect. Like, I'm kind of experiencing that with college right now. So I thought I'll help all the high school girlies out and give you some advice from some stuff that I learned from my last 4 years of high school. So I just graduated in June of 2023, last month, which is insane, but also not, because I feel like high school was way longer than 4 years, but I don't know. My advice might be a little bit, like, different than advice that normal people would give you. So I think this title is probably going to be called something like Things They Won't Tell You or something like that. So all of this is just from my own experience, but we're going to hop right into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is grades. How do I even say this? What I wrote down in my notes is your grades don't actually matter that much. Obviously, you want to try in high school, right? You want to not fail, because this is literally like you have to graduate high school to do most jobs, unless you have some cool entrepreneurship thing going, then respect, because honestly I wish I was you. Generally, our grades are part of what gets us into college or an apprenticeship, whatever you may want to do after high school. So you need to try. That's not what I'm saying. I will say, this is my favorite phrase, work smarter, not harder, okay? You want to set yourself up for success, but literally, like, you might be deceived by certain adults. Now, this is, like, so messed up that you have to keep in mind that your high school, I would hope that it has your best interest in mind, but mine didn't. You know, your high school is also building this graduation rate, and look at how many kids in our school are taking these classes, and look at our scores, and you know, there's money attached to that, at least in the public schooling system in America. You know, you would hope that your high school has your best interest in mind, but the reality is that, like, that's just not how anything works in America, like capitalism. So here's what I'll say. You need to advocate for yourself in high school. Don't take full schedule of AP classes. Potentially don't even take any AP classes. We'll go further in depth on that soon. But set yourself up from the time you're a freshman for early college credit or dual enrollment, or if college isn't your thing, set yourself up for an apprenticeship in your upperclassmen years. So from my experience, my senior year, I was able to leave high school halfway through the day, go home, and do virtual college classes. It's like you are taking a class at a college, and so you will get that credit as long as you get, I think it's like a C. That is the thing to do. If you want to go to college, set yourself up to be an early college credit by your junior and senior year, or dual enrollment. Different places call it different things. But literally the best thing I ever did, not only did I not have to be in my high school, like, I have a semester's worth of college credit going into college. Now, AP classes, if you're in high school, I'm sure you already know the deal, but if you're not, you're gonna be a freshman and you're thinking about AP classes, just don't take them, especially your freshman and sophomore year. I would say, okay, so I've taken 3 AP classes I took 1 freshman year, 1 sophomore year, 1 junior year. Now, the way this works is it's supposed to be like college curriculum, and then you take a test at the end of the year, and you get a 1 through 5 score, and if you get a 3 or better, you can potentially get college credit for that class. Now here's what I'll say. I don't like AP classes because now that I've taken actual college classes, it's like, what the heck was that AP class? That was not college class. Like, and I think it has to do with the fact that you simply can't do a college class in a high school schedule. In college, you're not, it's not like a 45-minute period each day. That's just not how college is. It's probably 2 to 3 times a week for probably like a 2-hour lecture. Putting that into the high school schedule doesn't really work it leads to a ton of homework. If you have an AP class, like, you're gonna have a crazy amount of work to do, and it's not guaranteed. Also, my school did unweighted GPAs, so for taking an AP class, that didn't boost your GPA at all. So there wasn't, I never got any credit on any of the tests. I don't know, maybe I just needed to try harder, but I just found it to be like a waste of time and money. That's my personal experience. If you like, I don't know, let's say you want to be, like for me, there was no AP classes to take that, like, I'm a business major. There's nothing was offered at my high school that was gonna help me with that. I mean, obviously you need general ed requirements, but like, my honest advice is just go to college and take English. Like, I don't know, because the chances that you're gonna get credit on the AP test is already low. Just because you have to do college work at like a 14-15-year-old age, it's not a good idea, guys. Don't do it. I don't know, maybe give it a try. Maybe I'm giving bad advice, but personally for me, all of my AP classes that I ever took were just stressful, and I didn't get any credit. Like, I paid to take the test, so I lost money. I don't know. That's my opinion on AP. Okay, so my next little bit of advice on classes is take classes that you're actually interested in and that are actually going to get you where you want to be. Not just classes that are gonna look good to a college or look good on a resume, whatever. Like, don't take AP Bio if you hate bio and you're not gonna be like a bio major, you know what I'm saying? I think really think about your classes before you take them. Now, guidance counselors are awesome. They're nice people, they're very helpful. But at least at my high school, like, each counselor had upwards of 250 students each. So it's like it's impossible for them to know each student's individual goals or remember exactly what each student is trying to do after high school. And college feels like it's the default, like, oh, if I don't remember what they want to do, or if they don't even know what they want to do, because that's a lot of kids in high school, I'm gonna just push college. I'm gonna be like, take these classes so you look good to colleges when you graduate, which is fine. Like, if you really don't know what you want to do, that's probably a good idea, so you have the option of college. But if you do know what you want to do, and you know it's not college, or like if it is college and they're pushing you to take other stuff, advocate for yourself. Like, that is the best advice I can give you. Like, figure out everything that you possibly can with the internet on your own. It's just best to do it yourself. It's best to have that info in your head, because like, if you put your future in the hands of a guidance counselor, like, hopefully it works out, but there's a good chance they're gonna like not give you what you want or needed. So advocate for yourself. Go into that guidance counselor meeting or whatever knowing what classes you want to take and why, and, you know, advocate yourself. All the research is out there on the internet. Go do it. It is always just better to be on top of things for yourself instead of literally putting your future in someone else's hands who, you know, like I was saying before, might not have your best interest at heart. Do your research. Take the classes that you need to take and that you want to take, because it shouldn't all just be about like 20 years in the future. It should also be like, oh, this is a fun shop class, I'm gonna take this just because it's fun. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's what I have to say about classes. Okay, my next little topic is here's what I have written down. High school is nothing like college, a job, or real life in general. It's absolutely nothing like that. You know, if you hate it, if you hate high school, it's okay. You know, do your time and get out. There's better stuff out there. If you peak in high school, that's not good. Like, high school shouldn't be the best time of your life. So just to give you like some perspective, my high school started at 7:40 a.m., right? That's pretty standard. Some start a little earlier, some start a little later. Mine started at 7:40. Guess when my first college class starts? 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Like, that's 2 hours and 20 minutes later than my high school started. I don't know. Adults have explained to me that that's because, like, parents have to go to work, blah, 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 blah. But I know in high school, that can just be so draining. Like, the waking up so early, just know it's not forever. Like, I'm super lucky to have classes at 10 a.m. and none earlier. A lot of people have like 8 a.m.s. But just know, like, you get to college or you get to your job, it'll probably be like a 9 to 5, not like a 7:40 to 3. And obviously all jobs are different, but just know, if you hate the high school grind, you hate this routine that you're in for the next 4 years, it gets better. Like, you can 100% find a job or career path or further schooling that is nothing like high school. I don't even know if there's anything like high school in real life, unless you become like a high school teacher. Also, you're going from having like 7 to 8 classes a day, like straight, with like a lunch break and maybe like a few minutes in between, to, at least for my college schedule, it's literally 1 to 2 classes a day. But instead of like 45 minutes, those classes are like an hour and a half to 2 hours. High school can feel so jumbled. It's like you go from chemistry to English to math, and that's just not, in my opinion, effective for learning it whatsoever, but that's the way it is. All I'm saying is you just need to get through it and life will get better. If you hate it, I don't know. Some people enjoy high school, but like I was saying, if high school is your best time of your life, that's not good. Let's talk about my personal experience a little bit. I personally hated high school. It was awful. So horrible. I pretty much almost hated every second of it. Freshman year was okay. I don't know what it was. Freshman year was like new and exciting and fun. And then COVID happened during my freshman year in March. I don't know if it was that or if it, I think I would have hated high school anyway, but I think that had a big part to do with it, because then I was at home for literally 6 months, and then I had to go to sophomore year with a mask on, which it was whatever, but like, it was so, school was the worst it had ever been during sophomore year at the time. And then I went virtual second semester of sophomore year because I couldn't handle it. And then junior year started, and by this time I'm like in the spiral, guys. Like, it's horrible. Junior year was the worst because then the classes only got harder. Junior year is probably the worst year. And then senior year happened. Senior year was better. You know, I got my days cut in half. I got to do my early college credit. But mainly my sophomore and junior year, when I was in there all day and I wasn't a little freshman, like having a fun time, looking at boys or whatever, like during sophomore and junior year, it was just awful. I felt like I was being babysat. I felt like I was ready to literally just be graduated during sophomore year, and I felt like I was learning things that are pointless to my future and my own goals, aka physics and pre-calc. But anyway, so that all added up, like the classes that were just hard, the fact that I felt like this is pointless, like when am I ever going to need physics? And I still stand by that. My physics teacher used to say, you're all gonna need physics. Like, I'm not gonna need physics. I want to be a social media content creator. I'm majoring in business. Like, I'm not gonna use physics. And I absolutely hate it. And I hate math even more than science. And that's what physics is. It's science with math in it. So anyway, side rant. So that just felt completely pointless. It was like I was wasting my time. I was in this environment that I just hated, and it was awful. It was so awful, especially with the fact that like I was building this online presence and personal brand. It was like if I wasn't here doing this goddamn physics, then I would be at home building my business, doing something productive with my time. And that's kind of just always how I've been. I mean, I definitely procrastinate sometimes, but if I want to do something, I'm gonna use my time to do it. And so I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, even if you're not like building a business. Maybe there's other things. Maybe you just want to do something completely unrelated to high school. I felt like all my time was being wasted, and honestly it was. And so if that's you at any point in your high school career, you're not alone. I'm here. I'm sure there's other people. I feel like it can make it so much worse when there's like, because there's always those groups of people in high school who are like peaking or whatever, like having the best time. These are my besties, like whatever. Right? Like the people who graduate and then don't even know what to do with life. So I feel like with that, that's there. And then like there's just so many different types of people in high school. Teenagers are just ridiculous. I don't know who decided to put them all together. especially like with the age gap of 14 to 18. Like, I don't know who thought of that. It was really dumb. This is just turning into like a hate on high school video. To summarize, high school is not High School Musical, it's more Mean Girls vibes. So do your time and get the hell out of there. And if you have a fun time, that's awesome. And we're going to talk about that next, because there are different ways that you can curate your high school experience to actually make it as enjoyable as possible. Okay, so I saw this concept in one of Annie Long's YouTube videos, and she said you need to choose the game you want to play, like in life, but like specifically in high school, right? So that could be like being popular, being that group of people who's peaking, right? That could be the game that you choose to play. It could be getting straight A's and a 4.0, like perfect grades. It could be like chasing boys. It could be anything you want, right? So my advice to you with this little concept, and by the way, I love it. I love that concept because I think that's so true. Like, there's so many different things you can choose to focus on in life and in high school specifically. So I would say choose you and your future, right? Do good enough in school that you can get into the college you want to get into, or you can get the job you want to get upon graduation. Make sure you're setting yourself up for success, but then also like don't make straight A's your mission. It's pointless. If getting into college is your fear, colleges genuinely in this day and age don't care as much about grades. They care more about like extracurricular activities, especially leadership experience, volunteer opportunities, like just getting involved in the world. Like, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a perfect person on paper, right? And if you have that 4.0, that's great. But if that's all you have, they would probably accept someone with like a 3.5 and all this like volunteer experience over you. And your school might not tell you that, your high school, because they care about the number in the papers. So get involved in something. For me, it was DECA. Actually, by my senior year, I was in like 4 clubs. Yeah, I was in DECA, mock trial, which both of those I super recommend. Skills USA. I also recommend that one, especially if you want to go like into the trades. For me, it was more just like, oh, my teacher wants me to do it, so I'm gonna do it, and my friends are in it. And then I was also in National Honor Society, which honestly don't recommend. But get involved. So for me, DECA was my base thing. My mom was like, girl, you need to get involved. You need to join something my freshman year. And so I was like, all right, we'll join DECA. It was like, I think it was like the biggest club in the school at the time. And general members literally had to like show up once a month to a meeting. So that's what I did. I was like, DECA. I don't even know what it is. So I joined freshman year. I would show up to the meetings. I'd get a little bagel, have a good time with my friend Michaela. And by senior year, I was DECA president. With this, for me, it really just kind of came together because obviously my freshman year, I didn't know specifically like, oh, I want to be a business major or whatever. I don't think I even knew DECA was like a business club, to be honest. I mean, like, it really just all worked itself out for me. And so that's what I'm saying. Just get involved in freshman year, because whether you know what you want to do with your life or not, joining something is going to help you figure that out. Like, let's say you want to be a lawyer, right? And you join mock trial, and then you're like, oh, I hate this, I'm not going to be a lawyer. Or vice versa. Like, you could love it. And you're like, yes, this is for sure for me. And then if it's for you, that's awesome. Then doing this extracurricular is on your resume. And like, for me, being the DECA president was like probably the biggest thing on my applications for colleges, above my grades, above my ACT scores, which I didn't even put that in this video. That's another thing. Your ACT score holds 0 value in 2023, but that's just my opinion. So the DECA president, that was the most important thing on my college application, besides any AP classes or whatever, because this is actual business leadership experience, and my major is business. But disclaimer, just a side note, DECA can be great for any career path, because it is just like leadership and professional experience. But so being in DECA, like, it helped me out with my future. I was just a general member, and it kind of led me to this little path to become an officer my junior year, and then the president. And I don't know, it really just like all came together, and this helped me meet people. It made school a little less sucky. It also made me feel like high school was wasting just a little bit less of my time, because like now I had a purpose in an organization that like it was directly related to what I wanted to do with my life, and it wasn't freaking physics. It was like, let's plan an event. I'm like, that sounds like something a business major would do. You see what I mean? And it doesn't have to be DECA for you, of course. It doesn't even have to be career related, really. Just any club. If your high school doesn't have an extracurricular or club that interests you, definitely look out in the community too. Because I mean, being in your high school definitely helps with connecting people, meeting people. If you're also doing it for like just the resume experience, I would say totally look outside of your high school, because communities often offer just amazing opportunities for young people, like volunteer experience or, you know, whatever. Like I think there was one girl in one of my classes, and she wanted to go into like elementary education, and at one point she had said like she had done volunteering somewhere to like put on her resume, you know, like I've had this many hours with like children, watching them or whatever. So you see what I mean. Okay, so that's my advice, guys. I don't really know what that video was. That might have just been like a whole mess. I don't know. Hopefully there was some helpful information in here. I know some of this was like really, you're probably like, what? Like nobody says that. I am like a month and a half fresh out of high school, and I personally, it wasn't my thing. I didn't love high school. I actually did in freshman year though. I think I had a really good time freshman year. And I don't know what changed. I mean, a lot did. The whole world did, because I was a freshman in 2020. But and the classes get harder or whatever. So if you're gonna be a freshman, moral of the story is your classes probably aren't gonna be too hard. Like it's probably gonna be harder than 8th grade, but it's not gonna be that hard compared to like junior year. So honestly, freshman year, take that time, get to know people, you know, pass your classes, do good, try to get good grades to get your GPA like off to a good start, but also like use that year to get involved in something. Like I was saying, that's my high school advice. I know there's so much more we can go into, so if you want a part 2 or you want me to answer like specific questions, definitely leave a comment down below and I will try to get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!